I am Dr. S. Balakrishnan, Assistant Professor, PG and Research Department of Mathematics, Islamia College, Vaniambadi. I am going to take partial differential equation for NET SLET examinations. First, this partial differential equation lecture, I have taken it as two parts. In the first part, I am going to discuss the concept of partial differential equation. What are the important things to remember? We have covered in the first part. In the second part, I will solve the previous year questions in the partial differential equations. So first, differential equation. An equation involves unknown function and its derivative or differential coefficients. Or an equation involves independent variables, the dependent variable and derivative of the dependent variable with respect to the independent variable. This I have explained detailed in a ordinary differential video. Next, classification of differential equation. Differential equation is broadly classified into ordinary differential equation and partial differential equation. In ordinary differential equation, it is classified into linear ordinary differential equation and non-linear ordinary differential equation. This I have explained in the ordinary differential equation video. Now we are concentrating on partial differential equation. Partial differential equation is classified into linear partial differential equation, non-linear semi-linear partial differential equation, quasi-linear partial differential equation, and non-linear partial differential equation. First, partial differential equation. A partial differential equation is a differential equation in which more than one independent variable occurs. So the general second order partial differential equation is given as a function of x, y, u, dou u by dou x, dou u by dou y, dou square u by dou x square, dou square u by dou x dou y, dou square u by dou y square. That is, here x and y are independent variable, two independent variable, and u is the dependent variable. So this is a partial differential equation, general second order partial differential equation. Next, linear partial differential equation. Now we are going to classify what is the condition for linear, semi-linear, quasi-linear and non-linear. Now the first one is linear partial differential equation. Let us take the example second order partial differential equation. So a of x comma y uxx, as we know, as we have already discussed in the ordinary differential equation, linear means it is a linear. The degree of the dependent variable and its derivative is 1. Linear in dependent variable as well as its derivative. So a of x comma y uxx and b of x plus b of x comma y uxy plus c of x comma y uyy plus d of x comma y ux. So this equation is linear in u, or in some textbooks they have given it as a uxx plus 2b uyy plus c uyy plus dux plus euy plus fu plus g. Next, semi-linear partial differential equation. A partial differential equation of order m is called semi-linear partial differential equation if it is a linear in the derivative of order m with the coefficient that depends on independent variables alone. That means the coefficients of mth order derivative contains only independent variable. For example, u is the dependent variable, x comma y is the independent variable. So the coefficient of dou square dou power m u by dou x power m, the coefficient is only contains x and y alone. Next, this is the example of a first order. This is an example of the first order semi-linear partial differential equation. So a of x comma y ux plus b of x comma y uy is equal to c of x comma y. Here the highest derivative is 1. So ux and uy, its coefficients are only depends on x and y, not u. In the second order, next example is second order, a of x comma y uxx plus b of x comma y uxy plus c of x comma y uyy is equal to f of x comma y comma u comma ux uy. So here the highest derivative is 2, that means second order equation. So uxx, the coefficient of uxx, ax comma y, that is it is only x and y. Next, quasi-linear, partial differential equation of order m is called quasi-linear PDE if it linear in the derivative of order m with a coefficient that depends on the independent variable and the derivatives of the unknown function are order strictly less than m, or order strictly less than m. That means it is linear in the highest order, linear in the highest order. For example, a of x comma y comma u into ux plus b of x comma y comma u into uy is equal to c of x comma y comma u. So this is the first order equation. So its highest derivative, the coefficient contains only x, y, u. If you take the second order equation, uxx, for example uxx, the coefficient contains x, y, u, ux or uy, not the second order term. Next, non-linear partial differential equation. Now a partial differential equation which is not quasi-linear PDE is called the non-linear or fully non-linear partial differential equation. That means it is not in the type of linear or semi-linear or quasi-linear, then it is called non-linear. Next, we are going to discuss about the formation of partial differential equation. There are two methods to form a partial differential equation. One is by eliminating arbitrary constant and another one is arbitrary function. First, how to eliminate an arbitrary constants. Let f of x comma y comma z comma a comma b is equal to 0 be an equation with two arbitrary constant a and b. Eliminating a and b from 1 by differentiating 1 with respect to x and y, we get two equations. From the three equations, eliminating a and b, we get the required partial differential equation. So here is the example how to form a partial differential equation. Z equal to ax plus by plus ab. So given z equal to ax plus by plus ab, differentiating one with respect to partially with respect to x and y, we obtain dou z by dou x equal to a. So dou z by dou x equal to p. So p is equal to a, q is equal to b. We are getting the second equation. Substituting p is equal to p and q for a and b in equation 1. So what we are getting? So z is equal to, or z is equal to, in this line, in the given equation, a in the replace a by p and b by q. So we are getting z is equal to a px plus qy plus pq. Next, we are finding the partial differential equation by eliminating arbitrary function. Here in arbitrary function we have only one arbitrary function or two arbitrary function. So the function of two arbitrary functions. So given z is equal to f of xy by z, differentiating equation 1 partially with respect to x and y, we are getting dou z by dou x equal to this value, so that we can written it as p is equal to f dash of xy into y into z minus px divided by z square. Similarly, we are differentiating with respect to q, we are getting equation number 3. So we are dividing 2 by 3 implies p by q is equal to this value. After cancelling the common terms, we are getting y by x into this factor, these two factors. px into z minus qy is equal to qy into z minus px. After multiplying all this thing, we are simplifying, and what we are getting is px is equal to qy. This is a required partial differential equation. That means p means what? X into dou u by dou z by dou x minus y into dou z by dou y is equal to 0. So next, to eliminating two arbitrary function to form a partial differential equation. First, we are differentiating one with respect to partially with respect to x and t twice. So yeah, dou z by dou x is equal to f dash of x plus it plus g dash of x minus it. Dou square z by dou x square is equal to f double dash of x plus it plus g double dash of x minus it. Then dou by dou t we are finding, and dou square z by dou square z by dou t square is equal to minus f double dash of x plus it minus g double dash of x minus it. Now we are looking for the second and third equation, or even we are looking for the third equation. If you take minus outside, it is very similar to that of right hand side of equation number 2. So from 2 and 3, we are getting dou square z by dou x square plus dou square z by dou t square is equal to 0, which is the required PDE. And formation of PDE using this type of arbitrary function f of u comma v is equal to 0. Suppose u and v are for two given functions of x and y, x, y and z. Let f be an arbitrary function of u and v of the form f of u comma v. F of u comma v. Then p into dou. Then we are finding the form of PDE as p into dou u v by dou y comma x plus q into dou u v by dou zx, which is equal to dou u v by dou xy. So this is the linear PDE of the type pp plus qq is equal to r. P is equal to this form, q and r. This equation is called the linear partial differential equation. Already we have discussed this equation. This equation comes under quasi-linear partial differential equation, because PP. So capital P. This capital P contains x, y, z. The capital Q contains x, y, z. Capital R contains x, y, z. So small p represents dou z by dou x. Small q represents dou z by dou y. So its coefficients are not containing the first derivative. Similarly, the coefficient of small q does not contain the first. So this comes under quasi-linear partial differential equation. So this is an example for this Lagrange type. Finding Lagrange type partial differential equation. F of x plus y plus z, comma x square plus y square plus z square equal to 0. This gives relation is of the form f of u comma v is equal to 0, where u is equal to x plus y plus z, v is equal to x square plus y square plus z square. Hence the required PD is pp plus qq is equal to r. So capital P is equal to dou u comma v divided by dou y comma z. That is determinant of dou u by dou x, dou v by dou y, dou u by dou z, dou v by dou z. And finding these partial derivatives and substituting here, we are getting capital P is equal to 2 times z minus y. Capital Q is equal to 2 times x minus z. Capital R is equal to 2 times y minus z. And substituting these three values, capital P, capital Q, capital R, in pp plus qq is equal to r equation, we are getting 2x z minus y small p plus 2 into x minus z into q is equal to 2 into y minus x minus z. So throughout we are dividing by 2, we are getting a z minus y p plus x minus zq is equal to y minus x. The solution of the partial differential equation of first order. So we are looking for the first order partial. So again the general solution of the linear PDE. So PP plus QQ is equal to R. So this already in the previous section, formation of PDE, we are getting this type of equation from f of u comma v is equal to 0. So we are looking for the same type of solution here. So we are getting reverse process, like reverse process. So in the formation of PDE, we are getting f of f u comma v is equal to 0. From that, we are getting a equation PP, partial differential equation of the form PP plus QQ is equal to R. So in the another way, PP plus QQ equal to R, we are getting the solution as f of u comma v is equal to 0. First we are forming a auxiliary equation dx by p is equal to dy by q is equal to dz by r. This is called the Lagrange auxiliary equation. Lagrange, because pp plus qq is equal to r is a Lagrange equation. So this auxiliary equation is a Lagrange auxiliary equation. So to solve this auxiliary equation, there are two methods to solve this auxiliary equation. One is method of grouping and a method of multipliers. In the method of grouping, we are combining first two or last two or first and third equation, or combining these any two equations like that. We are getting, and we are integrating, we are getting a u of x comma z is equal to u of x comma z or u of x comma y comma z, not u of x comma y. So this may be u of x comma y comma z equal to c1. Then next, similarly, we are taking first two means it is v of x comma y comma z is equal to c2. Therefore, the solution can be written as f of u comma v is equal to 0. Next one is the method of multipliers. In this method of multipliers, we are choosing three functions lm n, and we are multiplying like this L dx plus m dy. So all this ratio should be equal to L dx plus m dy plus n dy divided by Lp plus mq plus nr is equal to, we are taking it as k, such that the expression. So what type of these multipliers we are choosing, the denominator becomes 0. We are getting the denominator of this becomes 0. Lp plus mq plus nr is equal to 0. So we are cross multiplying it. So therefore the numerator value is 0. L dx plus m dy plus n dz is equal to 0. On integrating, we get u of x comma y comma z is equal to c1. Similarly, we can choose three multipliers L dash m dash n dash for getting the next solution v of x comma y comma z is equal to c2. Therefore, the general solution can be considered as f of u comma v is equal to 0. Here we are finding the solution of xp plus yq is equal to r. That is, this is of the form pp plus qq is equal to r. Here p is equal to x, q is equal to y, and r is equal to z. So the Lagrange auxiliary equation becomes dx by y is equal to dy by y is equal to dz by z. So we are using the method of grouping dx by x equal to dy by y, and integrating this separately, we are getting, so log x is equal to log y plus some integrating constant, we have taken it as log c1. So this side log x minus log y is equal to log c1. Log x by y is equal to log c1. So x by y is equal to c1. Similarly, we are using the second and third equation, third term. We are getting y by z is equal to c2. So the general solution, we are writing it as f of x by y comma y by z is equal to 0. Next problem, same way we are doing this, and here we are grouping in this dx by y dy. Here p is equal to y square, q is equal to minus xy, r is equal to x into z minus 2y. So the auxiliary equation is given in this form, and then we are grouping first two term and the last two terms. We are solving this, we are integrating. So we are getting c1 and c2. The c1 and c2 are nothing but u and v. So therefore the general solution is f of x square plus y square comma x square minus y z is equal to 0. Again the next equation. So we are getting this equation. For this equation, for equation number 1, here p is equal to y plus zx, q is equal to minus r is equal to x square minus y square. Then the Lagrange auxiliary equation is this equation number 2. Here we are taking combining like this, x dx plus y dy divided by xy. So if you multiply x to both the denominator as well as numerator, we are getting this form, and here we are taking only the last term dz is by x square minus y square. So x square minus y square gets cancelled, and then we are getting x dx plus y dy is equal to z dz. Then the first solution is x square plus y square minus z square is equal to c1. To get the second solution, the same way we are combining such a way that it is integrable. So xy plus, it is you can able to integrate this, xy plus z is equal to c2. So then the general solution is integral surface is f of x square plus y square minus z square comma xy plus z equal to 0. Next, integral surfaces passing through a given curve. U of x, let u of x comma y comma z is equal to c1, v of x comma y comma z is equal to c2 are the two integral curves obtained from the auxiliary equation of given PDE. Then the solution of the PDE can be written in the form f of u comma v is equal to 0. Suppose we wish to determine an integral surface containing the given curve C described by the parametric equation of the form x is equal to x of t, y is equal to y of t, z is equal to z of t. The particular solution 1 must be like u of x comma t, y comma t, z of t is equal to c1. Then the solution f of c1 comma c2 is equal to 0. So for this we have taken this problem as an example. Find the integral surface of the linear PDE x into y square plus zp minus y into x square plus zq is equal to x square minus y square z, containing the straight line x plus y is equal to 0, z is equal to 1. That is passing through the given curve, the integral surface. We are going to find the integral surface passing through the given straight line. So the equation 1 and capital P is this. So capital P is this, capital Q is this, capital R is this. Then the auxiliary equation is dx by P, dy by Q, dz by R. We are taking the Lagrange multiplier as xyz. xyz, xyz, xyz. So if you take xyz, we are getting the denominator is equal to 0. So therefore, the numerator y z dz plus zx dy plus xy dz is equal to 0. This is the total derivative of xyz. So on integrating, xyz is equal to c1. Similarly, we are taking the multiplier as xyz. So x dx plus y dy plus z dz is equal to 0. And the second integral surface is x square plus y square plus z square equal to c2. So using this parameter, what is given here? So x plus y plus z, x plus y is equal to 0, z is equal to 1. So we are writing the parametric form. So how we can write the parametric form? Z equal to 1 is given, and using this x plus y is equal to 0, so you can take y is equal to minus x, or x is equal to minus y. You take one variable as a parametric form t, and another variable you can directly find. So here x is equal to t, then y is equal to minus t. Z equal to 1 is already given. So we are substituting in here the first value, x, y, z is equal to c1. So x, y, z equal to c1 means x is t, y is minus t, and z is 1. Here x is t, and y is minus t, and z is 1 is equal to c1. So we are getting minus t square is equal to c1. So minus t square is equal to c1. Similarly, we are substituting in this equation. We are getting 2t square is equal to 2t square plus 1 is equal to c2. So eliminating t from this, we are getting a relationship between c1 and c2. So we are finding t square in both the equation, and equating we are getting a 1 minus 2t c1 is equal to c2. So it's 2c2 c1 plus c2 minus 1 equal to 0. So we are substituting the values of c1 and c2 that is given in equation 3 and 4. We are getting a required integral surface which contains the line or passing through the given curve. Next one is compatible system of first order equation. Definition: two first order PDEs are said to be compatible if they have common Next is the necessary and sufficient condition for two partial differential equation to be compatible. That is, by definition, if two differential equations are compatible, then their solutions then they have common solution. And then the compatible condition is, using those definition, we are getting the compatible condition as dou f comma g by dou x comma p plus p into dou f comma g by dou z comma p plus dou f comma g divided by dou y comma z. So this is the compatible condition, and we are going to prove the one example which the two partial differential equations are compatible. So xp minus yq is equal to x, and x square p plus q is equal to xz. So we are bringing into one side, f is equal to xp minus yq minus z equal to 0. G is this form. Next we are finding the compatibility. What are the values given in the compatible condition? We are finding and we are substituting. We are getting 0. So therefore the given two partial differential equations are compatible. And then the next one is Charpit's method. To find the complete integral or complete solution of a nonlinear partial differential equation of the first order of the form f of x comma y comma z comma p comma q is equal to 0. The basic idea in Charpit's method is to introduce another PDE of the first order of the form g of x comma y comma z comma p comma q is equal to 0, which is compatible with the given equation. And then solving equations 3 and 4 for p and q, and substitute in dz is equal to p dx plus q dy. So that is dz, total derivative dz is equal to dou z by dou x into dx plus dou z by dou y into dy. We are finding this. Instead of dou z by dou y, we are writing it as p, q. Then we are integrating, we are getting z value. Or integrating, we are getting the implicit solution or explicit solution of z. So the Charpit's auxiliary equation is given by dx by fp is equal to dy by fq is equal to dz by pfp plus qfp is equal to dp by minus fx plus pfz is equal to this form. So these are the basic concept which we have to remember, because in this CSIR examination all types of question will be asked in concept oriented problems. So we have to understand all this concept and remember all the things. We should remember all the things. So this is the illustration of Charpit's method. So finding the complete integral of p square plus q square into y is equal to qz. Let f is equal to p square plus q square y minus qz is equal to 0. Then we have fx equal to 0, fy is equal to this, fz is equal to minus q, fp is equal to 2py, fq is equal to, and we are substituting these values in Charpit's auxiliary equation. And then what we are going to do here is, first we are finding in this Charpit's equation, we are finding the values of p and q. We are finding the values of p and q, and we have to substitute in the total differential part. So first last two members we are adopting in the last two equation. So pp gets cancelled, so p dp is plus q dp is equal to 0. In the last two equation 1p gets cancelled, so we are getting this equation. So integrating, we are getting this p square plus q square equal to a. So this replacing from 1 and 3. So from 1 and 3, what is equation number 1? In equation we are replacing p square plus q square. P square plus q square is equal to a. So we are getting the value of q, and again we are substituting here. We are getting the value of p. Then we are substituting in the total derivative. So and dz equal to in terms of this, and we are cross multiplying and differentiating these terms. So we get the solution as x plus b whole square plus y square is equal to z square by a. Next, there is the special types of first order equation. That is the first type equation involving p and q only. F of p comma q is equal to 0. Let z is equal to ax plus by is plus c is equal to 0 is a solution of f of p comma q is equal to 0. Then p is equal to dou z by dou x equal to a, q is equal to dou z by dou y is equal to b. Substituting here f of, and we are getting b is equal to pi of a, and then we are taking it as a complete integral. That means here we are using the Charpit's method. How? Here you can see, so this f, the first type, f contains only p and q. That means fx 0, fz 0. So dp by 0. Similarly, fy 0, fz 0. So dq by 0. So dp is equal to 0 means p is a constant. P is equal to a. So dq by 0 means dq is equal to 0. It's a ratio. dq is equal to 0. So q is equal to constant by integrating. So that's why we are getting the first type is q is equal to a, p is equal to a, q is equal to b. Then f of a comma b is equal to 0. And then we are substituting b is equal to pi of a, finding b value in the given equation, and then we are finding the complete integral. So the first example is root p plus root q is equal to 1, f of p comma q is equal to 0 of the form, and then the solution. So we know a root a, p is equal to a, q is equal to b in the first type. That is this f of p comma q is equal to 0. So we are substituting a and b in the place of p and q respectively. We are getting the value of b and then we are substituting in this equation. We are getting the complete integral as z is equal to ax plus 1 minus root a. This already we have discussed in the, we have seen in the MSc course. The next type is ZPQ. In this case, Q is equal to AP. We are getting Q is equal to AP. See, P is equal to dou Z by dou U. Q is equal to A into dou Z by dou U. So it is nothing but Q is equal to A into P. So simply you substitute, you can find the value of P in terms of X, Y, Z, and then we are substituting in the total derivative. We are getting the solution of this form. So the example is P into 1 plus A, Q is equal to QZ. So you can write P into 1 plus AP is equal to AP Z. So this PP gets cancelled. So we are getting 1 plus AP is equal to AZ. So we are rewriting this as AP is equal to AZ minus 1, P is equal to AZ minus 1 divided by A. So we are getting this format. So the solution is log of AZ minus 1 is equal to AX plus AY plus C. Third type, separable equation. So if this equation you can split into xp separately, yq separately, and you can take it as A, and we can finding p from f of x comma p is equal to A, and finding q from this last two equation. So p is of the form phi of x and q is of the form psi of y, and you are substituting here. You can integrate this, get a general complete integral. Then the complete integral is equal to. So for this problem we are writing A, and P we are getting like this, Q is equal to AY, and then we are substituting and integrating. We are getting the complete integral as z equal to. Next, Clairaut form. This equation is of the form z is equal to px plus qy plus f of p comma q, and using the Charpit's method, again we are getting dp by p minus p, that is 0. dp is equal to 0 means p is constant. Let us take p is equal to a, q is equal to b. So therefore the complete integral is z is equal to ax plus by plus f of a comma b, and we are writing the complete integral. And then we are finding the next we are going to higher order partial differential equations. Higher order, so far we have discussed the first order partial differential equation. Now we are going second order higher order partial differential equations. The order of the differential equation is the highest derivative occur in the equation. So examples of second order equations, these are the well known, the three-dimensional ET equation. Ut is equal to kuxx plus uyy plus uzz. Laplace equation, the three-dimensional Laplace equation, uxx plus uyy plus uzz equal to 0. Three-dimensional wave equation, utt is equal to z square uxx uyy plus uzz. So ut plus ux plus is equal to mu uxx. So the first three are linear equation. The fourth one is non-linear. In general it is called non-linear, but this is comes under semi-linear or Gaussian type. So the third order equation, ut is equal to uxx plus sin x. the example for the third order. Now the classification. Again, the second order equation is classified into three types based on the coefficients of the and that is for linear second order equation. So based on this coefficient of uxx, uxy and uyy. So an equation, the second equation number 1 is elliptic if b square minus 4ac is less than 0, equal to 0 it is parabolic, is greater than 0 it is hyperbolic. And then the canonical form. So psi is equal to, so we can obtain the canonical form, we can obtain the canonical form using this coefficients. First, 3 higher order derivatives. Using this, you can factorize, and then we can get the transformation psi, new transformation psi is equal to psi of x comma y, and eta is equal to eta of x comma y, and then using this new transformations, so we are converted the parabolic type as this, and elliptic type as u psi plus u eta eta, and parabolic is u psi equal to this quantity, or u eta eta equal to this quantity. So it is, if you make it into canonical form, it is easy to integrate. And then this is for second order linear partial differential equation with n independent variables. So this can be identified through its eigenvalues. So if p is the number of positive eigenvalues, that is the number of, this is a negative, the second one is negative eigenvalue. So if this condition, if it is elliptic, z equal to 0, p is equal to n, and p is equal to n, and z equal to 0 and p is equal to 0, then it is elliptic. P is greater than 0, then it is parabolic, and hyperbolic, you have ultra hyperbolic equations also. So we are classifying this: a equal to 3, b is equal to 10, c is equal to 3, b square minus 4ac is equal to 64. Greater than 0, it is the next equation. We are getting this equal to 0 means it is parabolic equation. The next equation, for this equation, we have minus 4x square. X square is always positive, so minus is there, so it is always less than 0, so it is elliptic everywhere. So the next equation, we have 0, so it is parabolic. So here lot of examples are there. So 1 plus x square, 1 plus y square, so this is less than 0, it is elliptic. And the next example, 4 greater than 0, it is hyperbolic. So it is a, b, c, we are identifying from the higher order terms, a, b, c, and using b square minus 4ac discriminant, we are finding this is equal to minus 4x. If x equal to 0, if x is equal to 0, you have the discriminant is 0, so it is parabolic. If x is less than 0 means that is minus something, so minus into minus plus, it is hyperbolic. So if x is positive, then minus into plus is minus, so it is elliptic. So another equation, we have this type of cos square x is greater than 0, and x cannot take this value, because if it takes this value, then it becomes 0, so it is parabolic, so it is hyperbolic. And the another equation is parabolic, and another equation is parabolic. So many examples. And then the adjoint operator, the definition LU is equal to 5 means, so it is an operator. Then the adjoint operator definition is integral A to B VLU is equal to integral U L star V, and L star is the adjoint operator. So this is for a second order ordinary differential equation. one guy. So here they were finally the adjoint operator is of this form. L star is equal to, and for the PDE, if you take the second order linear, then the adjoint operator is given in this form. And the Lagrange identity for the adjoint operators. So constructing the adjoint operator for the Laplace operator. So L of u is equal to uxx plus uyy. So using this relation, so we are getting adjoint uxx plus u. So hence the Laplace operator is self-adjoint. Similarly, we are finding the adjoint operator for the ET equation. Ut is equal to uxx. So we are getting the adjoint operator as uxx plus ut. It is not self-adjoint. So next, few important equations. Higher order, second order, few important equation, two-dimensional Laplace equation. So the possible solution are given this. And this is the polar coordinates, Laplace equation in polar coordinates, and the possible solutions are this. So Laplace equation in cylindrical coordinates, Laplace equation in spherical coordinates, Laplace equation in three-dimensional coordinates, and this is a one-dimensional ET equation, and the possible solution is this. And the one-dimensional ET equation, two-dimensional diffusion equation. So say diffusion equation in cylindrical coordinates and the diffusion equation in spherical coordinates. So one-dimensional wave equation and the D-element solution. See the u of x u of the spring is tied at both the ends. That is x is u of 0 comma t is equal to 0 and u of some length l comma t is equal to 0, and the initial position u of x comma y is eta of x, and the initial velocity dou u by dou t of x comma 0 is equal to vx. So in the according to this condition, the D element find the solution as u of x comma y is equal to half eta of x plus ct plus half eta of x minus ct plus 1 by 2 c integral x minus ct to x plus ct v of xi dxi. This is the D element solution of the one-dimensional wave equation. If v is equal to 0 means this v is equal to 0, that means the initial velocity is 0, then the solution becomes u of x comma t. Initial velocity is 0 means the string is released from rest. There is no velocity before counting the string. So u of x comma t is equal to 1 by 2 eta of x plus ct plus eta of x minus ct. Then the possible solutions of a wave equation are this. So the one-dimensional wave equation cylindrical coordinates and spherical coordinates are given here, and the linear equation. The linear equation is a naught dou power n dou n z by dou x power n plus a1 dou n z by dou n minus 1 dou y. So this is the linear equation, and for dou by dou x, we can write it as capital D. For dou by dou y, we can write it as capital D dash. And A naughts are all constants. And the complementary, as we have discussed in the earlier, we have to find the general solution in two parts, complementary function plus particular integral. So by finding complementary function, we have to substitute d is equal to m, d dash equal to 1. Then we are getting the auxiliary equation. Solving the auxiliary equation, we are getting the different solution, means we have CF. Complementary function is this form. So next type is so m repeated roots means we have phi 1 y plus mx plus x into phi 2 plus mx x square, and like that we are getting. And for non-homogeneous equation, so suppose we have d minus a d dash minus b, then the factor can be, the complementary function can be written in this way. Next one, particular integral. Particular integral is 1 by as same thing as that, similar to the ordinary equation, we have 1 by d dash f of d dash into f of x comma y. Here also we are discussing the f of x comma y into three particular forms. One is polynomial type, exponential type, and the trigonometric type. So here in the polynomial type, we are going to use the binomial expansion for 1 by f d comma d dash. So exponential type, we have to substitute d is equal to a, d dash is equal to b. For trigonometric type, we have to use d square is equal to minus a square, d dash is equal to minus ab, d dash square is equal to minus b square. So overall, we have discussed so many partial differential equations, types of partial differential equation, types of solutions, Lagrange type, and all these things. So keep in your mind all these things. So we are going to solve. In the next part, we are going to solve the problems in the previous year question papers, net exam question papers. Thank you.